Volodia, it's so good to see you again, brother. Thank you for making the time and the effort to share with us. So bring us up to date with the situation in Ukraine. What, from your perspective, has changed within the last week or so?
Well, thank you very much for having me with this interview, first of all. And to be honest, it's even hard to explain how much changes happening during last week time. Today is 24th of March, and it is 1 month already Ukraine is fighting back Russians. Lots of change happening even every day. Like, for example, last 2 days, well, actually 2 nights and a day, we haven't heard any air alerts in Ternopil. That's a big change, and actually people could get some release. But I think what is really changing is the way how Russians attacking civilians at the moment. That's the biggest change. And from the very beginning, I would ask you to remember that their propaganda preparing people for some using of chemical weapons. And this is really what we are thinking they might do. But I praise the Lord really that till now we haven't had any big fightings in Ternopil. There are some shootings, I mean rockets in Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk and Rivne, which is actually areas around Ternopil region, but not much in Ternopil, actually not at all in Ternopil. So for that, I praise the Lord.
Thank you. That's been really helpful, Volodia. Now, we see a lot about refugees leaving Ukraine, but there are, of course, far more displaced people within the country. Can you help us understand their plight and how churches are seeking to support them?
Well, it's true. Big number of people already moved outside of Ukraine, mainly women and children. Men under the age of 60 are not allowed to go abroad. But although we don't have so many refugees going through Ternopil right now to Poland and other countries, we have a number of people in Ternopil area who moved here actually, and they are seeking maybe to stay for a longer time. And that's where churches are now very active. Every church I know has families or people whom they give accommodation and provide all necessary for their lives in this time here. So this is one of the points of their ministry at the moment. So at the moment, although we don't have people who are leaving Ukraine, we have many people who think how to establish their lives in new places in peaceful part of the country. So that's how things at the moment with those who moved from other places to our region.
Thanks, Volodia. And thinking about those pastors, those ministers who are working with displaced people, there must be huge pressures upon pastors and ministers, you know, emotionally. I'm sure they need a lot of prayer too.
Oh yeah, I may say myself, even with myself, although I'm not very tied to the war area or immediately to the people who suffer the most, I still meet people, and what I see in their faces and hearing from their stories, it affects myself. So I do cry a lot, and but I know pastors and their family members who are actually asking for prayer because they are overstressed with the stories they're hearing, with the people they meet. So really, it's a big challenge for many pastors, because and that's why pastors and ministers are really in big need of that spiritual help, that someone could help them to stand against these challenges.
Thank you, Volodia. Let's then just turn to the final question. Can you give us a few specific points for prayer?
So my first prayer point would be that God will help me to understand the time I'm living in order to be better equipped in serving to those around. Also would ask for the prayer for the family members of my family and others who are ministering this time, because they do suffer too, and sometimes they suffer even more. They have their own fears, and they see, like Oksana, see how I responded to situations, and she has the pain herself. So, and I'm sure it is very similar to others. But I think the not least matter is to pray for those who are in big trouble, in serious loss, and not just property in the places in the eastern part of Ukraine, but lives of the loved ones. So pray for them that it will open their hearts for the gospel as they come here, as they meet another reality, that they will be responding in proper way to the message of the gospel. And for the church here to be not just another humanitarian organization giving some aid, although important, but also be as a church that has a word of the life in their mouth.
Thank you, Volodia. Thank you so much for sharing and giving us such a good insight into the situation. Please be assured that there are many believers in the UK and across the world who are standing with you and upholding you in our prayers. So thank you again. Take care and God bless.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for your support and prayers. This is what we really value. God bless you too.